There are so many people out there that thought successful people are superhumans, are people that are very clever, they are people that are superhuman, and they are different to anybody else. I would hate to tell you that you're wrong. They are simple people, ordinary people. They are the same people that you meet in a restaurant, in a supermarket. They are no different to you and I. They are no different to anybody else. They're all equal with us. The only difference is basically they do things differently than we do. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what are the differences between success and failure. Especially now we're facing the recession, it's important for you to be able to identify this, because this is the time millionaires are made. This is the time where lots of people become successful financially. So before we get going, if you like this video or any of my videos, don't forget to hit the like button below, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more amazing tutorials. So there's so many people out there thinking these billionaires or millionaires are really superhuman. These are people that God created to be billionaires. Absolutely wrong. They are all exactly the same as us. We are equal as human beings, but we are unequal in the marketplace because they add different values than most of the people out there do, right? If you add value, then obviously you get that reward. So as I was saying just now, I'm going to explain to you what are the differences between success and failure. As we all know right now, the country is in a difficult situation. We had 2 prime ministers in less than 3 months. So we are in a situation where inflation is over 10%. Our grocery shopping, fuel, cost of living has increased over 50%, whilst our salary remain the same. Okay, so what if you really want to change that cycle, if you really want to be one of those people who wants to be successful during this difficult time, it's important for you to be able to distinguish the differences between success and failure. And I'm hoping that this video would help you identify that. If you have any of those failures within you, try to eradicate it, eliminate it, kick it away. Make sure you never ever use that sort of thing again, and then adapt what the successful people do. The number one thing successful people do, they work hard. Now, what do I mean by working hard? I'm not talking about maybe laboring, doing physical jobs, not that. I'm talking about they work hard in themselves, right? They work really hard in themselves to understand what can they do to add significant value that would reward them handsomely. And basically they look at services that they could offer that nobody's offering out there exceptionally, or maybe they will come up with a product that lots of people need out there, and again provide that product exceptionally. These are the people that work really hard in themselves, and what they're very good at, basically they tap onto resources that would enable them, allow them to achieve what they set to achieve. But they don't just do that overnight. They work on it. They work really hard. They work when you're asleep, especially in the beginning of their life. They work really hard because obviously they want to achieve success at the time they've set themselves to achieve it. So what they do, they are the first person to wake up, and then they are the last person to go to bed as well, because they're working hard. They are working really hard. If you see someone driving a very expensive car like a Porsche or maybe a Ferrari or maybe a Lamborghini, instead of being jealous or maybe envy them, or maybe talking negativity about them, maybe thinking they are privileged kids, etc. Why not think about it? Maybe approach them, ask them, wow, I like your car looks amazing, or your house looks amazing, or whatever they have looks amazing. Try to understand how they get that, how they get to buy that car, or how they get to be able to live that sort of lifestyle, instead of being envy. If you ask them questions like that, believe you me, right, there's so many successful people that are out there that are really happy to share their journey with you, so you'll be able to replicate the same thing. So if you've seen people on Facebook driving flashy cars, being in amazing houses, send them a message, maybe give them a call, find out where they're hanging out. Make sure you're hanging out where they're hanging out. Try to study them. Try to read what they're doing. Try to understand every step along the way. Because what that means, basically, it would allow you to follow those footsteps to get you to where they are. Right? And then the benefit you get from that also is basically you can look what they're doing, you copy that and make yours better. Then obviously it takes you to the to a different level. So because they work really, really hard behind closed doors before it manifests out there. So copy them, see what they're doing. If you're able to volunteer for them, for example, if you're able to kind of try to find out where they're hanging out, hang out where they're hanging out, and then when you got the opportunity, ask them these questions, and believe me, they'll be able to share so many golden nuggets with you to take you to the next level. So successful people work really, really hard. They work really, really hard and smarter behind closed doors, and then obviously everything manifests out there. Second differences between success and failure is basically successful people are focused people. They're very, very focused. They're not doing this business today, do another business tomorrow, and do another business the next day. They focus on one thing. They focus on one thing. If they said they want to do, for example, let's take property, because I am in the property world. If they want to do rent to service accommodation, they focus on rent to service accommodation. They don't do anything else. They focus on that strategy because they know that strategy is what gonna get them to where they want to go. But the difference with people that are failing in the business world are people who do rent to service accommodation today, and the next day they're doing buy, refurbish, and refinance, and they never did their sourcing deals. They are all over the place, and they're not focused, and then obviously they end up going nowhere. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, sit back and ask yourself, what can I do? What resources do I need to get? What do I need to work harder on to get me to where I want to go? If you want to be a businessman, right, ask yourself what sort of business you want to get into. Once you know what sort of business you want to get into, what sort of product or services do I want to get out there? And then once you've done that product or services, do a research on that product and services until you get to the end. And then obviously execute it. Don't go halfway, say, oh, this is too hard, maybe I'm going to try for something else, because that's what failures do. They will start something thinking it's easy, and then when they realize it's hard, they want to go for something else. They want to go for something alternative, which they think would be easier. Hence the reason why I tell my students and my mentees, if you're coming into property thinking you want to get into it because it's easy, you are having the wrong reason for joining property. Any property guru or property coach told you their property business is easy, he's just telling tales. He's not telling you the truth. Property business is a business. You have to value it and take it as a business. It's not easy, right? But if you've got a mentor or coach to help you go through the rough edges, it will get you there. So, but it is not an easy thing. If you're looking for an easy thing, maybe just stay home, watch Netflix. So isn't it easy? So the only thing you need to do basically is to look at one thing, focus on that one thing, and get you to where you want to go. I was lucky enough to watch an interview that Bill Gates did. They asked Bill Gates, what was the one thing that made him successful? For those people who do not know who Bill Gates is one of the richest men in the planet. He is the founder of Microsoft. So basically, they've asked him, Bill Gates, if you want to attribute one thing into your success, what would that be? He said, focus. He said, focus in one thing. Make sure you specialize in that one thing. Get people who specialize, who got more skills than you do, get them to execute the things that you do not know how to execute. So if you want to be successful, it's important you focus in one thing. That one thing is what gets you to where you want to go. The difference between failure and success also, successful people are willing to take uncomfortable action. So what they do, they look at the biggest challenge they could ever get in their whole lifetime, and then go and try to tackle that, right? They get uncomfortable to resolve the issues, because what that means basically allows them to tap onto their superpower. Because we all have that superpower. We all have that unique ability within us. But the only time that unique ability comes out is when you are on a uncomfortable situation. Because what that means basically, you have to go the extra mile. You have to literally work hard to literally resolve that uncomfortability to get you to where you want to go. So if you're looking for things that will make you comfortable and ease and kind of relax, maybe you don't want to do that if you want to change your life, because that's the difference between failure and success. If you're looking for a comfortable life, forget it. You're not going to be successful. I'm going to be honest with you. It is what it is. You have to face uncomfortable situations to be successful, because that's what helps you get you to where you want to go. You know what? the most uncomfortable things, people don't want to do it. People don't really want to take it on. For example, people would say dilapidated property. So all they would think about, wow, this is amazing, but it's got lots of work to be done. I have to ask for planning permission. I have to get builders to come in. I literally have to go back to bricks. Guess what? They don't take on properties like that. So this is where I'm very good at. I look at a property that's going to make me so uncomfortable. But what I look is basically what the end value, what is the vision would I be able to achieve with this property? Once I know I've got a massive vision in front of that property, once I know if I've done that property, I can achieve the return of the investment, I'm able to recycle all my money out or most of my money out, then I know I'm happy to go through that uncomfortability because I know it's just temporal. And by the way, being uncomfortable is just a temporal thing. Once you go through the uncomfortability, that then allows you to take your life to the next level because then you've gone through that uncomfortability. Guess once you've got similar things like that, you would have already gone through it, and then it becomes easier for you. And then guess what? You go and look for another challenging, uncomfortable task as well. And again, you kind of overcome that task, and then that then takes you to another level. And that's what successful people are very good at. They don't look at easy things. They look at things that would challenge them, look at things that will take them to the next level, look at things that make them unique, branded, and obviously they provide that solution that would allow them to be well known, that would allow them to be the person that everybody go to help resolve issues like that. Another difference between failure and success is confidence. Successful people are confident. They don't care about what you think about them. They don't care about what you thought about them. They don't think about what people think about what they wear, for example. They don't think about any of that. They are comfortable and confident in what they're doing, right? As long as they believe what they're doing, as long as they know what they're doing is the right thing, they don't care about the noises. They are so confident. And guess what? They fake the confidence until it becomes real. Right? Most successful people are all introvert. They're really shy people. They don't like to talk to people. But guess what? They fake the confidence until they become an amazing person. I can give you an example. Elon Musk. He's not a really confident person. If you look at his history, he's always that shy kid who doesn't want to involve with so many people. But literally, he fakes it. He makes it as if he's confident. Look today, he seems to be one of the most confident person out there. So again, things like that is what gets you to be famous, successful. When I'm talking about success here, I'm not talking about financial success. I'm talking about successful spiritually, morally, physically, emotional. I'm talking about all the other success part of the gestures. I'm just talking about finance. But listen, you have to fake that confidence until you become confident in yourself. How I used to do things like this is basically I look at myself, I look at my role models, for example. I said, what would this person do in this situation? Right? I'll say what X would do if he was in a similar situation. So guess what I do? I mirror that in my head. I do exactly that. And when I approach people, I become confident, comfortable. I know what I'm saying because I have engraved that in my mind that I am the most confident person out there. If you believe in yourself, everybody else would believe in yourself. And again, what do you do to be confident? One is to know what you're doing or learn about what you're doing, get the capabilities, get the skills, tap into someone who would help you do what you want to do, and then you become confident. If you are working with a landlord to buy a property deal from them, if you're confident and you know what you're saying, you know you can tap into someone to actually help you close that deal, it gives you the confidence, it gives you the boost to kind of go and close it. And again, once you've got that confidence, it literally translates in you as well. People would know, wow, this person is confident and he knows what he's talking about. And then obviously that's how you get to be successful. Another difference between success and failure is basically successful people surround themselves with successful people. Now, what do I mean by this? It's very important for you to understand this. I've been in both sides of the angle. I've been poor and I've been rich, okay? What tends to happen? The poor people tend to hang around with poor people. And then obviously, the rich people tend to hang around with rich people or successful people. So what that means basically, they are looking for someone who's either more successful than they are, or someone who's doing exactly what they're doing so they can exchange ideas, work together, or become joint venture partners, or literally form a corporation together to take them to the next level. So again, these are the things you need to be thinking. Look at your group. If you are the most successful person among your group, maybe it's about time to find another group. If you are the smartest person in your group, again, it's another time to find another group. If you are The person who's thinking about investment in a group, none of the other people are thinking about investment, or thinking about going on parties, talking about negative stuff, watching the news and all that sort of thing. Maybe it's about time for you to find someone else that you surround yourself with that will take you to the next level. So surrounding yourself with successful people, or people who are way advanced than you, gets you to the next level you want to be. Another difference between success and failure is basically successful people take responsibility of their financial situation. They don't leave it to chance, they don't leave it to employers, and they don't leave it to politicians. They make being successful their duty, obligation, and responsibility. The poor people do the opposite, or the failures do the opposite. When something goes wrong, they find someone else to blame. They either blame the government, blame politicians, blame their children, their family members, their dad, mom. They find someone to blame, basically, so that they can feel comfortable, feel okay that it wasn't their fault, right? But what successful people do, even if it's the fault is not theirs, in some occasions they literally take responsibility for it. They take responsibility for it, saying, okay, it's my fault. They try to think about it in a different way. So what they do is, okay, if I had involved in this task, what would I have done to actually stop this from happening? If they had to have done something to stop that thing from happening, they will take responsibility. They'll put their hands up and say, listen, it's my fault. I take full responsibility for it. What can we do now to improve on it? Very key thing to do. If you want to be successful, you need to take that responsibility. You need to take your financial situation into your own hands. Any mistakes you made along the way, don't blame it to someone else. Don't blame it to your parent. Don't blame it to your siblings. Don't blame it to your partners. And most importantly, if you're married, don't blame it to your wife or husband. It's all your responsibility. Make sure your responsibility is yours. Take it, grab it, take the responsibility to take yourself to the next level. If you make being success to be your responsibility, duty, and obligation, I see no reason why you should not be successful, because that's what successful people. I've watched them, I've observed them, and I'm implementing what I'm learning from them. Right? And that is transforming my life drastically. Hence the reason why I sat here today sharing the exact golden nugget. So if you want to take yourself to the next level, these are the things you need to learn. Not just learn about it, get the knowledge, but implement it. Because once you've implemented it, you will see the difference. You will start separating yourself with the people that don't add value in your life. Basically, you will not blame anybody else for your future. I've seen so many people going on TV saying the government did not do that, the government was meant to do that, the politician did not do that. It's because they rely on the politician, because they rely on the government, because they rely on their employers. If you take your financial situation as your duty, responsibility, and obligation, you don't give a monkeys what the government are doing, because you are doing your own thing. I really hope you would actually find these differences and then adapt to the new success habit that would allow you to take yourself from where you are to where you want to go. If you like this video or any of my videos, don't forget to hit the like button below, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more amazing tutorials. I look forward to sharing the next video.